We now take a trip to Totnes in Devon, on the southwest peninsula of the UK. It's home to the Mare and Foal Sanctuary, an equine rescue centre that unlocks a world of natural wild beauty, providing a place where troubled ponies and people can together learn to enjoy life again. Of more than 100 young people who attended their equine assisted learning and activity sessions last year, Amy and Teegan are two shining examples of how the centre is helping change lives.
Being around the horses is absolutely amazing. Like they can do a lot. They really can change people's moods very quickly. I love it. I always love it. It's really relaxing.
To have found this place to us all just means the world. To have found somewhere that Teegan has just felt that she fits in. There's never a question of her being different. There's never a question of anything. While she's here, she's so happy. And for us to have found that, there honestly aren't words.
We are an equine welfare charity and our main aims are to rescue horses, find them a home, rehabilitate them, and as well we have our equine assisted services and education department which aims to help young people and adults who are in need. Every horse is fully assessed to make sure that they're comfortable and happy at all times, but being part of equine assisted services can really aid with their emotional and mental recovery, particularly with their affiliation with humans, as prior they may have had abuse or neglect from humans. So you can imagine they might see humans as a negative thing, when actually they come and have a positive, mutually beneficial experience. I think it can help bring down those barriers of that humans mean negativity. How I feel when I see Amy and Teegan benefiting from these horses is very emotional actually. To see them come here and the smile on their faces, it's hard not to cry. Tears of joy as opposed to tears of sadness, because it's like poetry watching them together.
I joined a school in Totnes called On Track and I started doing an animal care course and was invited to come and work with the horses here. I have not had any experience with horses before this. My first thoughts on the horses was I was nervous, but they were really calm, so it really helped calm my nerves. They're quite soft and it's just quite relaxing, to be honest. The first time I met Flynn was my second time coming here and I just laid my eyes on him. I was literally in love with him. He just seemed so happy about everything. He just kind of did anything he wanted and he was just really brave. He's a very chilled horse. If you want to say run with him, he can run with you, but then if you just want to sit and cuddle, he will just sit and cuddle you. Earlier we did some grooming and we picked out his feet and then we did some in-hand work. He gives me a lot of confidence. He's a very sweet horse. I'm not scared to do stuff with him because if it goes wrong I can just redo it. He's not going to judge.
This is Teegan. I'm Tony. We've been coming here for about a year and a half. We started coming because Teegan's siblings had started finding more and more things that they could do of their own, and Teegan didn't have anything that was her own. We found this place through a recommendation through the special needs community. Teegan fell in love on the first visit and the rest is definitely history.
We have a normal one.
Yeah.
A hard one, yeah.
You do, you have 3 homes. The normal home, Little Harbour, which is a hospice, and here. Teegan was born at 38 weeks gestation by emergency C-section and she was diagnosed with a brainstem tumour at 9 days old. So she's been discussed worldwide and no one's ever seen anything like it before. So the way that it affects Teegan is that when she gets upset, when she cries, she stops breathing and she requires resuscitation. We've resuscitated her at the beach, at the park, at the side of the M5, the M1. There's not really a place that we haven't. We were told that she wouldn't see her first birthday and she will be 15 in October. So she's outlived her prognosis by quite a little bit. From our first visit, Teegan absolutely fell in love with the staff, with the horses, with everything about the sanctuary. It absolutely was home to Teegan.
It's been a really amazing journey with Teegan and her family. She was very anxious about her tube for a while. Walking, wanted Dad with her all the time because he had the oxygen and the clearance tube. And then gradually it was, no, I'm fine. Off you go, Dad. She does like to go into one of the arenas to do leading. It's just really a case of her getting a sense of well-being from being with Bunny. Her face lights up when we talk about her. Who am I working with today? And I say Bunny and her little face lights up. She just wants to spend time with her. She loves just being with her, really. Big change in her self-confidence and her knowing that she can do things, like just walking around the arena. She was always looking for a bit of reassurance. And then on the day that she said she wanted to trot, I mean, her face was just incredible. I wanted to do it over and over again just to see her huge smile.
I think for Teegan and Bunny it was love at first sight, wasn't it, Teegan?
Yeah.
Teegan is really the smallest in our house. So the first time she saw Bunny, a tiny little horse, Teegan was absolutely in love, weren't you, Teegan? And she talks about Bunny all the time. I don't think there's anybody that's met Teegan since we started coming here that doesn't know about Bunny. Since Teegan's been coming here, there has been a massive change in her confidence and her self-belief. As soon as she started coming here and she got that connection with the horses, she immediately was on cloud nine because she'd found something that was hers, her own little thing that she loves doing, that she's really good at, that she gets all of the praise when she comes. The girls are always telling her how well she's doing things, and she'd not had that with anything of her own before. So it's definitely increased her self-confidence and her belief in herself massively.
Well done, that was super.
Amy and Flynn really connect together. So Amy has been in the care system and has had a lot of problems with anxiety. And I think the fact that Flynn has had not the best start, he was abandoned as a yearling, they really connect in that way. And you can tell it's that silent understanding of we've both been through some things and we want to help each other.
I've changed how I interact around animals, so I've learned a lot that they can pick up on how you're feeling, especially like the horses. They're very clever, knowledgeable, they know how you're feeling without you noticing. I can sit back and think, like if I was here, how I would have reacted to something versus how I'd react to it when I'm at home or out in public, and it just makes you stop and think.
Oh, it's quite tight. Well done.
Being with the horses has taught me how to manage my behaviour and my emotions, and when it is and isn't kind of alright to be big and loud, and when to calm down and kind of come back into yourself. It means everything. I'm so glad that I have been able to come here and have this opportunity to do things, because not a lot of kids are able to do things like this.
Watching Teegan when she comes and watching her with the horses, for me and for her dad as her parents, is heartwarming. Just to see her just to see the smile on her face when she's with the horses, just to see her being able to show her physical abilities more. She does push herself when she's here quite a lot, when she's running around with the horse, when she's stroking them, even immediately as she comes in, just as soon as she sees them, just to see the joy she gets from it, both while she's here and when we've left. Just means the world to us that we've managed to find something that is for her and that she has enjoyed, because we have had a lot of failed attempts at finding things beforehand.
What are the tweezers? What are the tweezers?
Why? What do we need tweezers for?
Sherry said when I'm here
Oh, do you want to cry? Do we need to tweeze you?
Ow,
Do a little pinch. Do a little pinch.
I just feel really fortunate to work in such a beautiful place with amazing horses and ponies, lovely people, and to give people that don't normally have the opportunity to do something like this is just really fulfilling and joyous. It's not for everybody, but for most people they get something out of it, gain a lot of transferable skills, a love for horses, a love for themselves, which is really lovely to see. The fact that some of these horses have been through trauma and some of our students have been through trauma, then yes, there's a connection. I just think horses are incredibly forgiving. With a bit of kindness, usually you can get them on the right road.